Sentry mode activated. Target acquired.
Hey there, hunters. I want to talk as little as possible and let this game kind of show itself off, but I need to do a bit of an introduction and say something at least. So, BPM, or Bullets Per Minute, is a roguelike rhythm shooter game by Awe Interactive. Yeah, all that. You can select a character who has their own starting stats and equipment, of which you unlock more of as you beat the game with said character. Then you load into a randomly generated area with random map tiles, rooms, enemies, items, stuff like that. There are only 8 areas with a set boss at the end of each. That much is pretty much set in stone, but at least the bosses do get random modifiers. Like a typical roguelike, you start with nothing. You have to buy or find equipment to use for your run. Dying is obviously going to reset you back to square one. And like a rhythm game, everything has to be done to the beat. Which is a pain because I have no rhythm and I suck at these kinds of games. I never play rhythm games. Shooting, jumping, double jumping, dashing, even reloading all has to be done on the beat and the offbeat. Jumping through obstacles can be a real pain sometimes, especially for someone like me. And of course, like a shooter, you got guns, you shoot stuff, you kill things. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? As a shooter game, it's alright, wouldn't say it's anything too special, but the rhythm elements just knock it out of the park. I did not believe I would have this much fun with the game. So some of the biggest complaints I've seen about this game is the color saturation, which I 100% understand. The bright colors can be a real strain on your eyes or just downright unflattering. Thankfully, you can change the color saturation in the options and on a level by level basis. I tend to keep things around 45%, still has a pop of color, but not too hard on the eyes. Now speaking of options, the game has a variety of options to change your HUD, crosshair, how shooting works, how strict the timing for the rhythm is, or you can just outright remove it. There's plenty of tools here to customize your experience to your liking, but disabling the rhythm part kinda seems like it goes against the spirit of the game, so I don't do that. There are only 2 difficulty options right now, easy and hard, and honestly I'm not entirely sure the difference between the two. The game can be rough early on, especially if you're just not into rhythm games like me, but once you start getting equipment and modifiers, you can start blowing through rooms. There's plenty of different weapons to find, and they all feel pretty good, and they all have their own style. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of shotguns, and I'm sad because one of the characters starts with a sawed-off that I absolutely adore, but he dies in one hit, and I suck. So yeah. So by now I've mentioned a few times that rhythm games are just not my cup of tea, and you might be asking why I even bought this game, why I played it, why am I reviewing it, stuff like that. Well, because it's still freaking amazing. Like, I cannot stop playing this game. When you get into the groove, the sounds and the feeling of it just feels so right. I got more of a joy playing this than I did Doom Eternal, for sure. Now it's a little late, but obviously the soundtrack is spot on. I mean, it has to be. If you're making a game based around music and you don't have an amazing soundtrack, well, it's just not going to do well. But the tracks, as well as the added audio of your shooting and reload, that just feels so nice. The best part is this game's like $18 on Steam right now, worth every penny. I put like 6 hours into the game, which isn't a ton, I know, but there's still so much I want to try. Characters I haven't used, challenge modes I haven't completed. Even after I do all that stuff, I'm probably just going to sit in here for a couple hours every week and just burn some time, killing some enemies and rocking out. Now, I'm not sure if they have plans for DLC, updates, or added content of any kind, but I'm going to stay on top of this one for sure. Now overall, I absolutely love this game. Easily the best shooter I've played all year, and would recommend it to anyone who likes FPS games, roguelikes, or rhythm games. It just checks all the boxes. So that's all for me. Thank you all for watching, and good luck out there, hunters.